Hey everyone, it's Jeannie from A1 Vacuum and Sewing, and I am getting ready to update our Aveneer here at the store. So I just wanted to kind of walk you through the steps of what you would need to do. And the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to start with formatting my USB. So I have a USB here. And you never want to put, because what you're doing is you're updating the brains of your machine. So you never want to put like a USB that has all sorts of stuff on there. So I'm going to go ahead and slide that in to my computer. Here, I'll give you a better view here. And I'm going to go, well, maybe we'll be closer. Let's show you. My USB is in. I can see it right here. It says LexRD. I'm going to go ahead and click that. I already have it on here, but if I had a USB with all sorts of stuff on it, I would just go ahead and right click and you're going to see an option here that says format. I'm going to go ahead and click that. And then you have an option here that says start. And so I'm going to go ahead and touch start. It's warning me, formatting will erase all data on this disk. To format the disk, click OK. To quit, click cancel. I'm going to say OK. When you do a quick format, it happens quickly. I learned that there is a more detailed format because Patrick did that on one of my USBs. I'm going to say okay. Now let's show you where you need to go. So to find your updates, and this goes for all of the machines, not just the Aveneer, but I'm going to go ahead and let me see if I can get in even closer. There we go. So I'm going to type in support.brother.com. That's your site. This is where you go for manuals, for updates, for all sorts of stuff. It's going to take you to this site here. And you're going to put in your product number. So the luminaire is going to be an EV. And you're going to see I just started typing. Oh, no, I didn't even start typing in. It just popped up. EV. EV. I'm going to search. And there's going to be two options. EV1. That's just the regular Aveneer, and EV1-LE is going to be one of the limited editions. What we have here at the store is going to be an EV1. It'll say on the front of your machine. So right here, mine says EV1. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go right here, click on EV1. And it says down here, software version 1.03 is available. Please click here, or you could also click where it says downloads. That's also where you find your manuals, and then there's some other information that you can find on this site. So I'm going to just go, please click here, and it wants to verify what kind of computer you have, what version. I am Windows 11, so I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And read before downloading. So here's a whole bunch of notes. So you can go ahead and read through this. I'm going to go ahead and touch agree to the EULA download. And then there's instructions on how to download. Here's the introduction. Tells you what is going to happen with this version. So it always gives you an idea of what this is going to do. And then it gives you all of the instructions. The only thing that's not on here that I was told to do beforehand is that you want to set your time on the machine. So we're going to go ahead and do that. But before we do that, I'm going to come and here's detailed instructions with illustrations showing you how to do it. If you've never done this before, watch this video right now, or else read through the instructions. Everything is going to be right here. So I'm going to go to my downloads now because I downloaded it. Your downloads for me on my computer is going to be this little, whoops, let's zoom in. Right down here where you see, I was looking at bathing suits. Patrick and I are taking a fancy vacation, so I need a new bathing suit. That's what you're seeing there. Okay, right here, I know, it just popped up. I'm going to go to this. This is kind of like the filing cabinet for my machine. I'm going to go ahead and scroll up to my downloads, which is right here. Do you see that? Downloads. I'm going to touch that. And what you're looking for is you're looking for a folder or you're looking for a file that says UPF. That's what you want. So I'm just going to go ahead and touch this. It's highlighted. And then I have an option here. This is my copy option. If you hover your little cursor over it, it'll say copy. I'm going to touch that. And then I'm going to go to my USB, which is my Lexar right here. I'm going to touch that to highlight it. And then I'm going to go back up here and touch paste. You're going to see the word paste is going to pop up. You can also right click on it. All those actions will come up. And now we're going to go ahead and put it on. This is a big update. So just give it a minute to put all of that information on your USB. And while it's doing that, I'm going to come over here to the machine and I am going to update the day and time. So let me go ahead and turn it on. You get to see my reflection in the screen that's not on. Whoops, sorry. Do not turn off the machine even if the screen goes dark. So we're just going to give this a minute. The amount of time that it takes to turn it on is going to go down substantially once you have that update in there. At least it did with my machine. Okay, I'm going to touch this. To get to your important update, available, update your machine by downloading the update file for the download the update program in the machine settings. So right here, you're going to see an exclamation part. And you could do it wirelessly, but I was told with this one, because it's so big, use a stick. So use a USB stick. Next time you can do it wirelessly. So I am not going to hit start here. I'm just going to go ahead and get out of here and just say okay.
The embroidery unit will move.
I'm going to say okay to that. This back a little bit just so nothing hits. And I'm going to go ahead and fix my clock. So you have a little clock button right down here. Let's touch that. And then it's going to bring you to this screen. And let's put in the year, the month, and then the day. Patrick, what day is it?
The 27th.
Okay, so I'm going to go to the 27th. And then you can set your time. This is going to be military time. I'm just going to go to, what time is it, Patrick?
Huh?
What time is it?
12:59.
Okay, so I'm going to go to PM. We're in the afternoon. And you can go plus all the way to 59, or I can go minus. And I'm going to turn on my clock display. If you don't do that, you will still see this little clock picture. So I'm going to turn on that. Now you're going to see the date and the time. And I'm going to say okay. And I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. Let me turn off my machine. And now we're going to do the update. So, back to my computer here. Do you like how fancy we are here at A1 Vacuum and Sewing? Okay, so I'm back to my computer, and there's the update on my USB. I'm going to eject it, so I'm going to go over here. I'm going to right-click, and I'm going to touch eject. And now I'm going to take out my USB. So here is everything on my USB. Okay, let's go ahead, and we're going to update the machine. So I'm going to take my USB. I'm just going to put it in my upper port. Doesn't really make a difference as long as you push the right button, but I'm putting my USB in the upper port, and I am going to hold my button down. This is your threading button. I'm going to hold that button down. While I'm holding it down, I'm going to turn on the machine, and I'm going to keep holding it. And normally you don't keep holding it, but I asked Patrick, I was like, should I keep holding it? Because that's what we did with the first update. And I'm just going to hold it. It says, do not turn off the machine, even if the screen goes dark. So I'm going to hold it until the load screen comes on, just to be on the safe side. Store's closed today, but people still call. Okay, now that this has come up, I'm going to let go of the button, and it says Lexar, it's reading my USB in this port. If I had done it wirelessly, I would be touching this button, but you can see it's grayed out. I'm going to touch this one for my USB, and I'm going to touch the word load. And now you're just going to let it do its work. Do not unplug the machine. Do not turn it off by accident. Patrick was doing an update. It can mess with your machine, but he was doing an update on a multi-needle, and I needed the cord, and I walked over there and I just grabbed it, unplugged it, took the cord, and probably like 20 minutes later, Patrick came over and was like, "Did somebody unplug my machine?" It was me. So he had to call Brothers Support, and I think they had to do things to fix it, but I was so scared that I had broken the machine, but it was okay. Okay, so we're 5 of 100%. I'm just going to go ahead and let this go, and we'll see how long it takes. Just so you don't have to sit here, I'm going to go ahead and pause the video, and I'll come back. I'll start it again once it's 100% complete. Okay, when the update is complete, this is what your screen's going to look like. So you're just going to turn it off and back on again. So off. And let it sit for just a minute. And on. And then hopefully this will come on quicker than it did before. I know mine did. It didn't take that long, but here we go. There's my hourglass. I've got a flashing button over here. That is all okay. Don't worry about it.
I'm sorry, I missed your name. What was your name? Jane. Okay. Jane, this is Patrick. I'm actually from one of your merchants. I can give you my merchant number when you get the chance.
You're going to hear Patrick in the background. Do not turn off the machine, even if the screen goes dark. I think that's really important because you get kind of nervous. You're like, oh my God, is something wrong? Everything is fine. Oh, and you know what I wanted to say? Actually, this did take quite a while. And when I asked Patrick about it, he said, now that you've put the update, now I mean, I think this kind of installs everything. So this time it's going to be a little bit slower. So after you put everything, you load it onto the machine, you turn the machine off and back on again. This part is going to take a while. And then you're going to turn it off and back on again, and that should be quicker. But the initial time after you load the update, it's going to take a while for it to start up. So don't worry about that. This normal. Don't freak out. Here we are. Important update available. Update your machine by downloading the update file. I'm just going to go ahead and say, okay. I'm not going to download it because we've already put it on. I'm just going to go ahead and clear that. Carriage is going to move. Let me move my computer, which is, I like that reminder because I had set my computer on there. It's going to move. And I'm going to go into my settings and just make sure my update is there. and it's going to be on page right here. So this is page 7 of 13. You can see I'm at version 1.03, and I'm just going to go ahead and say okay, and then we are good to go. And that is how you update your machine. You can also go through here. We've already done it, so I'm not going to do it again. That should clear itself, and you should be ready to sew. Thanks so much, and I will see you later. That's how you update your machine to 1.03. Bye.